stuff is like that too.
Very comfortable here.
The proof is taking your fingerprints,
You're
don't
relaxing,
you?
like you need a beer to go with
What's
this
that?
meeting.
The proof is on your fingerprints.
Some beer to go with, and a TV.
It's the ground.
Yeah, and the main gate.
That is called an epoxy ground that will not come off.
Oh, well, eventually.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
keeps creeping at them.
All right, Marty, you're in charge, take over.
I'm going home.
Well,
Need to
Elijah.
elect a chairman of the.
I nominate Buddy Belcher.
I second that.
You guys are cruel.
All in favor?
You guys are really cruel. It's your fault, Brian.
You're the perfect person for
What
it.
the hell did you do now?
Whatever.
Just go like this.
Yeah.
All right, well, since I didn't get a voice. Surplus pounds, $8.95.
What?
Your surplus,
Yeah,
that's where I wanna start.
what do you wanna know?
And then you're taking 200 out of that for 2024 budget. How much from the fire department, the bond did we get back?
Say that again?
How much from the bond did we get back? The grant for,
A million.
so there was an overture of 300,000 on that?
No. No, we voted to take 600 out towards the building
Yeah.
and a million.
for the-
We were gonna do a loan slash grant. And the building came in just under that. We got a couple of things left, but
So surplus as of right now, 695, 599. Okay. And you probably don't know how much we're putting back in from,
I didn't dare guess this year. I don't
Okay.
think
no, that's fine.
revenues, I don't believe we're gonna put any because, revenue sharing, we kinda got dealt a bad one, cause we used to, collect from 2 different revenue sharings. And the governor made a decision to, cause we didn't get the full amount out of the first one, so we qualified for the second one. And because the governor voted to give the full 5%, disqualified us from the second one, along with a lot of other towns, and, it's not as much as what we predicted. So we, actually, if we break even on that this year, I'll be lucky. I don't have a lot of faith that we're even gonna break even. We still got, I think, $50,000, no, $25,000 or $30,000 to collect. And our last payment, which is we had 4 remaining, was $5,000.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And I didn't change anything, from last year. I left what come out, the extra 100 for roads. It's up to you guys whether you want to change that back or.
Yeah. That's ahead of the game. Well, I guess we'll start right at the beginning. Compensation, I see you got a raise in,
Yep,
for you and the girls.
yep,
12%?
yep, for the girls.
That's pretty significant. Not that they're not worth it, but
Oh, I think they're worth every penny, but that is significant.
it's a big,
It is significant,
Yeah.
but it's, to get them to a rate where we're competitive with surrounding towns. Encourage them to stay.
When was did you get a raise last year?
8%.
8%.
surrounding towns being like Etna, Carmel, Dixmont. You've reached out to them and found out what the wages were?
You can go to Hampton right now and make $3 more an hour.
Yeah, I get that.
Carmel's pretty much the same thing, I just printed out Carmel's, they're giving their people in the office significant raises. Find my paperwork. So. Carmel's, so the deputy clerk 1 is getting a $5,000 increase, she's going from $56,000 to $61,000 a year. Deputy clerk 2 is going from $43,000 to $46,000. Deputy clerk 3 is going from $40,000 to $44,000.
That's based on 40-hour weeks.
36.
They're doing 36-hour weeks in Hamden.
What do you guys do here?
36.
You know, it's public knowledge on what they make. So you'll be going from what to what?
Hold on, I got that. So Katie will be going from 2128 to 2383. And Rebecca will be going from 1836 to 2056.
Okay,
The wages, count for any bonuses?
There is a little extra in the budget, for Christmas bonuses, and, there's a couple times a year that we have to pay overtime for elections and stuff.
now, going down the pages, what's the retirement?
That was added this year,
Is that for all three of you?
yes, and it's a 3% match to the wages. The town would match up to 3% of whatever they put in, so I based the 3%
Like a
on.
401K?
Yeah, I based the 3% on, the total wages.
So you're gonna start a retirement fund?
We're looking into it, yes. It was brought up 2 years ago by the board, about looking into it. It's not gonna do me much good, but the other 2 girls it will.
Well, I'm gonna jump ahead, only because the finals for administration, government access administration, last year was 309, 394 on page 2 on the bottom. And we're going from 309, 394 to 348, that's almost a $1,000 increase. That's a big chunk.
Some of that is, so,
I see what some of it is, like 4,000 in computer services,
yep.
extra,
6,000, for mowing the town office and the fire station. Last year it was $1,000, but we're losing the school, so we're gonna have to pay for that ourselves.
is there a plan to put people in the in the old school rooms?
We're trying, we're,
Because that was, I know that when we took over the school, one of the stipulations, knowing the school, MSAD 22 wouldn't be here, or RSU 22
yeah,
wouldn't be here forever.
yeah,
So we pay your health insurance as well?
assume that would, next year that would just go to the regular cost of living increase.
I hope so, yeah.
Are there contracts for like the audit and the copy?
Yes.
Did the one for the audit go up recently?
Not this year.
This year.
Next year, I'm taking a proposal for the next 3 years to the board on Monday. She's gonna be $5,600 this year, and then she's going to 57 the next 2 years.
But you also need a single audit.
Yeah. So, because of the $1 million that we got,
Yeah.
we have to do a special type of audit, which I haven't found anybody to do it yet. So, and I have no idea what it's gonna cost, but it's a single audit, it's what they call a single audit. It's just on the grant funds, but I don't know a lot of what's involved in it, so I didn't know how to budget for it.
So that's why it's got the increase to $7,000,
Yes.
because you don't know where it's gonna go.
Yes.
It's the same thing with computer services, is that why that's,
Computer services went up,
We're adding 2 new things. We're adding sketch for Travis, our new assessor, because the sketches that we have in the system need to be updated. So like you have a property card and it shows the sketch of your building, what the size is, what you got for add-ons, decks and stuff like that. And then we're also adding motorcycles, the blue book for motorcycles, because ours are to the point that they don't work anymore. You can only call them from 9 to noon for MSRPs for the state of Maine.
and I do, there may be an adjustment in that too, because they're sending me a quote for campers. We don't have campers anymore.
and you're suspecting that that's gonna be $4 grand?
Yeah, that's what they quoted.
Yeah.
To add them on.
So this sketch that you're talking about, is that something like satellite service? Is that what this is all about?
No, it goes into our program that we have. So Travis, so like if you
Into
build.
Trio?
Yeah, into Trio. And Travis can go in and draw all the buildings like he needs to on certain sketches that are supposed to be on the property cards.
That are not?
They're there.
Right
but
now,
they're
it's just a picture
done
of the
by
property
picture.
card. And they haven't been updated for a long time.
So is there value to that, just being able to sketch by hand, or what's there now? I mean, what's the
It's
value?
just an old picture of the card. We don't even use the cards anymore. They haven't been updated in forever.
So we gonna create new cards, or that,
We don't do cards anymore, it's all on the computer.
and there'll be sketches on there too?
There'll be sketches
So
on it.
it'll allow him to go into that specific module.
Right.
And do it right on the computer instead of having to pull an old card, fix the old card, take a new picture, upload that picture. It'll just keep it so it's current in that, in each
Have
account.
any of you been on and seen the digital maps?
I have,
So when you click on that,
Yeah.
it'll bring up the property card and you'll see that picture, which a lot of them you can't see.
it's a catch me out, I gotta tell you, it's, it was very easy to use once I figured it out.
I've used it, used doing the ports.
Yeah. So this is just a new step to
Okay,
that.
my wife loves it.
This is gonna be a yearly thing or one time?
So part of the cost,
No,
This
yeah.
one.
be,
Here, I got it for you.
so there were 2 costs associated with them this year.
Yep.
There's buying the initial program and then a maintenance fee that you pay.
Okay.
The maintenance fee we pay every year.
Okay. So it's like an initial buy-in and then.
Yep, and then we just pay the maintenance fee
Yeah.
every
You
year.
still using Trio?
Yeah.
Been happy with them?
You don't have a choice, do you?
There's other programs, they're much more expensive and
Yeah, but they just got that thing so that it's what it needs to be, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Trio? From what you had
Trio's
before.
been here since I've been here.
Yeah, we
They do
called
updates of the year.
it, we called it Trio with Ricky Briggs.
Oh, there's another version of it coming.
Yeah.
That's also too.
So it started out being the DOS version, and and then they went to a Windows version, and then 2 or 3 years ago, we updated to what they call the sequel version,
Oh, yeah, all right,
and
yeah,
next is gonna be the web version.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So all the other towns are using this sketch program or something
Yeah.
close to it, or is it
Yeah.
just everybody's kind of on the same page?
Whoever has Trio and Assassin, they
Yeah.
generally run
Okay,
this,
and
too,
that kind
and it
of
coincides with the
with,
maps.
with Shoreland and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're just catching up.
Yeah.
Right, something like
Well, the thing I was looking at, and I just told Mark and Jess, is I divided, your health insurance went from 43 to 46. There's 3 years, right? That divided by 3, that's 15,000 a year. And I know there's a lot of companies out there, and I'm gonna say companies, not government establishments, that don't pay for full health insurance. And again, you guys are worth every penny, but I know other people are gonna bitch about it. I have a hard time giving a 12% increase to the girls when we're paying full health benefits at $15,000 a year. But that's me. I pay at the ass for health insurance, because I'm self-employed. Medicare next year, though.
Something to look forward to.
No, right, Ryan?
So what if you did 8% again this year, and that's $1.75?
It doesn't matter what we say, it's about the board approving it. All we
Oh,
do
I
is give
understand,
it, you
I
know.
understand, but I'm just saying, in order to get that, because just like you said, right, you're looking at,
15,000 a year is a lot of money.
it is,
We could say right here, we want 8% and she's gonna change. I mean, that's right, that's what we're doing.
Right.
I mean, that's just a recommendation, because I mean, it was 8% last year, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
that. That was cost of living last year, percent.
Cost of living wasn't 8%.
2022 was 8%,
Cost of living?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2023 was 3%, 3.1.
Well, and I think 8% is more than fair.
Standard with the bank is 3.
Right.
Yeah, standard where I work is.
Well, I mean, 2022 was,
Code.
you know,
To the end of it.
it's crazy. It's back to normal now.
What's normal? Bidenomics.
Yeah. Well, it was 1.9 in 2020,
Yeah.
but we won't talk about that. But it averages 3.
So if we cut Cindy's back to 1.6%, and, I just kidding.
You're surprised.
And the girls back to.
Usually I don't put it in there.
No, I know, that's why I said it.
Buddy always gives me crap.
Yeah, I do.
3.2 is the COLA this year,
Is
Yeah.
the what?
what they call COLA, cost of living.
Right.
And I started out with 3.2, but there's a thing about keeping people and keeping them, you know, I don't wanna see them go down the road.
I
I get that, you can't necessarily use that as an argument for a really big wage increase.
And does Carmel and all the towns around, do they all pay health insurance, full bennies?
I believe they do.
I don't know, I think you gotta be more than a believer, right, cause the proof's in the pudding, cause it's not very often that you're gonna find anybody that pays health insurance.
I don't know, every town office I've ever worked in paid it.
But well, it's up to you guys, it's what you guys wanna do.
I'm good with the 8%, I think that's more generous.
Motion to make it 8%? Aye.
Alright.
Right?
we're gonna drop that 8%, and see what the selectmen do with it. Which in turn will make your FICA and your Medicare and your other insurances
Everything
lower.
else will change.
So I see the line for the election wages, but I still don't see the bonus for the Christmas bonus.
Elections,
Is that all lumped in?
where,
Where's the Christmas bonus line?
it's in that line,
In the election
In the-
line?
No, in the wages.
Wages.
wages and salaries.
And truthfully,
On the first page? The second
Yeah,
page?
first page,
Okay, so it's included in there.
yeah.
I think at town meeting, you're gonna get handed on Christmas bonuses. We did last, I know when I was a selectman, they laughed at me hard. And we didn't even know about Christmas bonuses, but apparently we signed for them. Anyways, moving on, there's not a lot of, nothing we can do with that. I mean, with the increases of the computer maintenance, I mean, the audit, computer services, town sign, the increase on that is because of,
Electric rates,
is there a timer we can put that on, shut it off at night?
It does.
Oh, it does? Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, that's a commercial electric
Uh-uh.
rate?
Hmm?
That was a commercial electric rate? Cause I thought they were lower, the electric rates.
Well, so if the streetlight stays the same, but the town sign's not gone?
The street lights on 24/7.
Doesn't
Oh,
draw
that
much
shuts
power.
off. That shut off, you know. Oh, no, that is on there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, right.
it's always 200.
200 bucks.
It's unbelievable, hours off.
I was thinking of the wrong, yeah, I was thinking,
Yeah.
But page 1 and 2, your final's gonna change at the bottom. I don't see anything.
So was the mowing just heavily increased because RSU 22 was paying for some of it, except before? So,
and now we're mowing more,
yeah,
because they're gonna have to mow down around the fire station.
yeah. Did we get bids on it?
Uh,
Did we get bids on it?
I just got a quote from Rob, who's done it.
Do you think we should go out to bid, like have a couple of
That,
different people?
I have to take it to the board.
Yeah,
I'd almost have the cemetery guy.
It is him.
That's him, he does it all,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright,
It's just so hard to find.
we have, who's that,
Right, that brother's going along, everybody in that brother.
Charlie Nash, he does he's a Newburgh resident, and he does Hamden cemeteries.
He is.
Yep, so he might do something on the side, maybe.
Well, he does it for himself. He works for Hampton.
Yeah,
So anybody that does it for us would have to have insurance and all that.
yeah, I don't know if he does it on the side or not,
Yeah.
but might be a good call.
You're like 26 weeks a month.
anything else you guys see on page 1 and 2?
That seems like a
That
lot.
seems
Yeah.
a lot, 6,000. I'm just,
It's a lot, I feel.
Well, if you wanna come across the street and do it.
Yeah, my free time, I can come home on for you.
so half a year probably a month,
Mhm.
once a week, $250 a week.
Two things we
I can
can't
put it
find.
out to bid and the
I'm
bid
grabbing
is
the
getting,
soda.
I know, Cindy, but that's ridiculous.
What's the matter? Oh, yeah.
What's it take, an hour,
That's their new
2
mattress.
hours to mow that? That's $125 an
no,
hour.
it takes, so the school was doing it, and it takes them 4 to
We
5
had
hours.
that last year, right?
Wow, even with the fire department taking up as much
They
space
paid
as.
for part of it out
They
of
never even mowed
funds
down
to
there.
get it started.
That's
Wow.
added.
I don't think this is any bigger than my yard.
Yeah.
Right, at that point, you might as well buy a pool.
I guess we will.
Yeah, then I gotta check.
That is that.
Just leave it alone.
I don't know, I just feel like that's a lot of money.
Hold on.
She's not gonna get any cheaper though, I think she's right, it's just, even though there's a lot of people out there, it's not Plaquemine, it's small guys that they're doing these big dogs and handling.
He's a two-man crew too.
Kind of,
Got somebody today.
kind of. Have you ever seen the operation in operation?
The operation, I love your terminology.
Just saying. Because, right,
Alright,
but, yeah.
Alright,
On the FD main for the, building maintenance, how come it decreased? From 3 to 1?
what page you on, dear?
30.
Alright, we gotta approve
She's
the
way ahead of us.
I'm
page
sorry.
1 and 2 first.
Oh,
Sorry,
Sorry.
they made me cheat, so.
So, what we did was we just moved 2,000 from the fire department main up to the municipal office. Still the same amount,
We're still on page 2.
page three.
Yeah, no.
we can't go until
Can't go.
Buddy approves.
Right.
I just wanna make sure you guys wanna approve the,
Yeah, we're good,
Well,
yeah, the 8%, and you're okay with the mowing? Those are the two
yeah,
I
contentious.
got one more.
but,
That mapping service,
yeah,
so Katie kinda answered me, but didn't really answer me, cause she gave you the eye, but you wasn't paying attention. So is the mapping service, is that gonna be $7 grand a year from here on out?
Pretty much.
So the ARPA money was what?
Started
Kicked
it
it off.
initially.
Right. And now, the digital
We're
maps,
maintaining them now at $7,000 a year.
Wow.
I mean, I understand what it is, but at the same time, right, once it's in place, I mean, what is their,
They do quarterly updates versus a yearly update. So once a quarter, they go in and update the maps to whatever's changed.
but what's gonna change in 3 months?
We do
Lots
the
of
south.
people cut their property, and deeds change, ownership changes.
Lot splits.
Wow. Right, yeah. Knock it back to semi-annually instead of quarterly?
It's cost the same amount.
Really?
Contracted services.
Great. All right, 1 and 2.
1 and 2, you're all approved? Yeah, okay, before I go to page 3, I'd like to make a motion, we go to public safety. We have Brent and Neil here, they probably don't wanna sit here and listen to our bullshit. You guys good with that? Page
Ed
6.
and I are, yeah.
B911, that's not gonna change. Compensation wages, increase in the pay scale adopted by select board on 3/11/24. You're going from 70,000 to 90,000. What's the difference? Besides 20,000.
12% raise.
Average.
And the board approved,
What?
3-0.
2-1.
Well, we ain't touching that then, I was just wondering. Brent, is there anything you wanna, or Neil? Anything you guys wanna speak?
If you're gonna go over the
That's
fire budget,
Only if you have
we'll,
questions, yes.
Your office is 450, your gas, oil, lubes 3,500, I mean, nothing's changed. Your equipment maintenance went up, but your equipment services went down.
In the same amount.
You know, it's training and travel went down. Your training facilities 3,000, and your PPE is 8,500.
Yep.
What is PPE? I'm assuming personal.
turn on
protection.
gear, anything for the safety line, for the clothing, uniform.
So you're saying you need,
We started a new line this year specifically for turnout gear,
yeah,
because we're falling behind fast on getting our guys set up with the recommended 2 turnouts per firefighter, due to the cancer preventative act and
yeah,
everything that's being pushed for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
The problem is we're only doing 1 set. As we get everybody into a set, our first guy is ready basically for another.
right.
And I just can't keep up with the demand. So we've went ahead and actually put a line in so that we can start yearly figuring out ahead and getting one or two sets going on a regular basis. And then if we have anything else above and beyond, we can work the budget accordingly. But we've got to have a line item for it.
How many guys you got?
I have now got 16, 17 total. I've had 6 guys join in the last year.
We just got an application from a guy that I don't have any turnout gear in the closet for him. I can't even put him in turnout gear right now. I don't have anything for him.
What's the percentage rate on your guys coming?
Say that again, please.
What's your percentage rate on the guys that show up, whether it be for training, for a fight, fire?
On an average, I was 17 on most of our nights. We were getting anywhere between 12 and 13 on fires. It varies just because of the time of day and who's working and who's not. That's a hard one to put a number on because every day that time that a call goes out differs. I mean, I can tell you half and give you a ballpark number to play with, but honestly, I can't tell you an exact because of timelines.
Right.
I mean, people work, 8 to 5, some work 5 to mid, there's different timelines, so.
We certainly have a better membership to turnout ratio
Oh, yeah.
than most departments in the area, for sure.
And I'm assuming that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's an outstanding
Yeah, the
thing.
more people, the better.
And I bet there's fire departments out there wish they had that problem.
Oh, yeah.
What's the, like, max number that you want for guys?
I'll take as many as I can get.
Many as you can,
When I joined back in the prehistoric days,
yeah,
I mean, we had 34 on that
right,
department when I
but that's
started.
expensive.
Very
Right.
expensive.
Right.
But back then, a lot of the recommendations, qualifications, stuff that you had to have and didn't have was a lot different.
Right.
So back then, I mean, not everybody was
Right.
up to date to the best of what we could afford. Now it's a whole different ballgame because the recommendations, the things that are being told to us that we have to have now, not just suggestions, is becoming crazy. I mean, all your small-time departments are now having to follow the same regulations as your full-time city departments. And our scale level is a little different, obviously, for the trainings and what have you, but as you look at the whole picture, everybody is falling under one umbrella now. They don't show different departments. Everybody is just basically, this is where you're at and this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
I also don't think you need to worry about getting to 34 people.
Oh, no.
No, I was just wondering,
No,
I mean,
we have more
yeah,
people
but I
in the
mean,
department
if you
right
don't
now.
have enough PPE right now, and you hire, let's say, another 10,
Yep.
I mean, that's
So
a lot of money.
what's it cost to outfit a guy?
Right now, for a set of turnout gear, just a pant and a coat, is about $3,400.
Wow,
Boots and a helmet too?
Helmet, gloves, and boots would be an additional 6 or 7.
Yep.
So we're $4,000.
Yeah, it's over 4, to do
So-
it head to toe, yeah.
So for $8,500,
We essentially plan for 2 sets of like a pant and a coat, because we can
right,
finagle getting a helmet and stuff out of the budget. But to be able to, the pant and the coat are the big dollar items. So to be able to get 2 of those, plus a certain percentage, because fire gear on average goes up like 7% quarterly, it seems lately. I mean, it's just going up super
so you're
crazy.
really just looking for a spare set. So if there's a call and you gotta go out and you got another call, you grab the other set and go?
Well, so like what happens right now is if we left for a fire right now, I get back, my gear's going to get cleaned.
Right.
Right now,
Right.
until we have the washer hooked up, which will be very soon, we bring it to Union Street Laundry, I go get it in 2 days. So for our members that don't have 2 sets of gear, they're out of service till then.
So
We
Union,
have a couple
yeah,
that
but,
do.
hold on a minute, so Union Street Laundry?
Yeah.
So do they have, what do they have? Do they have
me. Sorry.
appropriate,
Washing
Yeah.
facility? Yes.
Yeah.
For turnout, yeah, specifically, yep.
oh, no kidding,
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
They've been
They
doing
use that same washer system for other things, but yes, they
No,
have.
right.
They have.
They've been doing that
Yeah.
forever.
They're not just
Oh,
washing
they
it.
have?
Yeah. They're not just washing it.
Yeah,
normal
it's not
washers,
like
dryers.
you, tell the guy, turn around, I'm gonna hose you down, it's all clean.
Are there
I know, that's
grants
what we
for
used to do, Ed.
There are, so this request kind of comes from the fact that the Maine Municipal Association, we used to be able to put in an almost almost guaranteed 2 sets of gear. That was about a 50% matching grant, so we basically bought a set, but Maine Municipals came out 2 years ago or last year and pretty much said like, we don't really wanna fund your turnout gear anymore. We wanna fund more safety type items, cones, safety vests, like stuff like that, because they wanted
Real
to spread
important
their,
stuff.
they wanted to be able to spread their money wider.
Not firefighting. The
So,
outside stuff.
there are other grants. Last year we put in for a firehouse subs grant for 8 sets of turnout gear. We didn't get it. So it's it's never a guarantee. So
So
the plan is to still apply for grants as we can, but then this gives us a baseline of being able to get people in turnout gear, and especially our interior firefighters having 2 sets.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So that's the whole thing, so what happens with, alright, say in the same month, you got 2 new recruits that come in.
Yeah.
So where does that money come from in your budget?
When
To
we-
get them
To get them
for
outfitted.
turnout gear?
Yeah, so right now, if we need to do that, we dig into like equipment maintenance.
Equipment maintenance.
So like we have a set of turnout gear on order right now that we bought out of equipment maintenance.
Wow.
It just
Every
makes it,
every piece of gear has to be fitted to the fire.
To the fireman.
yeah,
Because, I mean, you and I would not.
That is correct.
right. So what we try to do is if we have a brand new member come on,
Yeah,
we'll take a set of gear.
I was in my dad's suit.
Like if you came on the department, you'd probably get my second set of gear.
Okay.
And then we
So
would
exactly
order,
the same size.
we would order a new set for you once you were there for 6 months or so that we knew you were gonna be an active member.
Alright.
Or we're gonna buy a new set of gear for someone who is active and kinda hand-me-down gear down the line.
Okay, I get it. So
If you guys,
basically, you're trying to just
I don't understand how they do that.
Stay
get ahead
ahead.
of it.
That's all I'm trying to do right now.
if you guys have an accident, did you have your hand up? I'm sorry. Oh. If you guys have an accident up here in the corners like we always do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming the guy that's holding the flag isn't dressed in turnout gear.
Supposed
They
to-
should be,
yeah.
they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
and then they should also have a vest over the top.
That's right.
Now, in
Why
the
would-
summertime,
why
we get a
would-
little bit lenient with that.
They what?
In the summertime, we get a little lenient with that, like,
Right.
put on your turnout pants and
Now, is that
That
your
guy-
policy or is that,
it's actually,
I mean, why would you,
it's actually BLS
Right,
recommendation.
BLS.
recommendation,
Yeah.
it's not a policy.
It's
though.
not a policy.
The
But
thing
I-
is,
Go ahead.
we don't have a member in the department who can't have, we can't give turnout gear. We've gotta give turnout gear to every member of the department. Because all of them operate somewhere where they're gonna be within, at least within what we call the warm zone,
Right,
which then means they have to have turnout gear on.
okay.
So they all get it, one way or the other.
But if you go to this accident and the cat is standing there with a flag, right, it's flagging,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right, so he does wear turnout gear, but that doesn't need to be, cause it's not contaminated, correct?
Right,
So
we'll
that
have
doesn't
to
need,
watch after that.
Right, it's not something, so you asking if he wears it, does he lose the set, or
No,
you're
no,
just
no.
asking, does he wear it in general?
well, no, I got the part that he does wear it.
Yeah.
But even though it's not a necessity, is that just a precaution, or, I
It's-
guess I've never really paid attention, I have, but I haven't.
Some of it's a safety thing, but then the other part of it is, I may be working on cutting a door off a car, and we might have a flagger, and he's got a cone next to him hopefully, and we're short-staffed, because we're always short-staffed, and I did the door open, and now we need help.
Now you're
getting
half
it
out.
here.
And he's gotta come,
And
he's
now
gotta
he's
come
gonna
rescue.
be within the hot zone of that car accident, glass, blood, all those things, and.
So how do you
our
take,
has
but,
no more
so I'm backtracking a little bit.
Yeah.
So the 8,500 is for turnout gear, but if you need turnout gear, you go and you get it from maintenance. But you don't have the money in maintenance to take money for turnout gear out of maintenance to
Nope.
maintain. Does that make sense?
That's why we wanted to add the line item.
That's why we're trying to have a separate line item to pay, so that we only have one line item that's dedicated to turnout gear.
Okay.
That's what it's,
So if you were to switch department, like, if you were to go work for another town,
Yeah.
can you bring your turnout gear with you?
nope,
Belongs to us.
Okay.
it's town, obviously, it's done by the
That turnout gear
town, owned by
belongs
the
to
town.
Yeah,
So as you go to another department, you'd have to start all over, getting sized, the whole 9 yards
Yeah.
with them as well, so,
And it has like a soft 10-year service life.
yep.
So it's 10 years. If it maintains serviceable life, we can hold it on the rack. Recommendation from NFPA and BLS is that gear would be used as a new guy comes on the department, you put him in that gear, order him a set, that comes in, that old gear goes back on the rack.
Gotcha.
kind of a bridge,
But
essentially.
unfortunately, you don't even have that now.
Well, like I told Gary Sibley in 2001 when he asked for the jaws of life, if it's gonna make your job easier and safer, I don't have a problem with
I
it.
never heard you not support us, so I have no doubt about that.
But I still have a problem spending $8,500 for 2 sets of turnout gear. But
Unfortunately, that's completely out of our hands when it
You know,
comes to that.
So to that, one thing we did do this year is the stuff that we were buying was about the same cost that we are right now, and they had a huge increase. So we went and looked for different turnout gear. It was pretty easy. We went and got the same stuff that I wear at my career department, and it was at the price that we were buying turnout gear for at the time. So we're constantly making compromise as far as gear
Well,
goes,
yeah,
to try to
understandable.
maintain a certain level of what we're spending.
So what's the $3,000 for the training facility?
So, part of that is, you know, with a goal to increase what we have for an area to train. So as you know, we have the Connex box.
yeah, what?
We have a Connex box down behind the salt
Yeah,
shed.
down by the sand shed.
We use that for live burns, hose advancement stuff. The only disadvantage to coming out of the old fire station is that it was an old building. It was okay if we, you know, put fake smoke in it. It was okay if we did search and rescue in it. We weren't all that worried about the set of stairs getting a ding in it. Well, we're not gonna do that stuff in this new fire station. It's just
Break
not.
her in, dude.
What's that?
Break it in.
Yeah, I'm sure the selectmen in the town.
You go
manager
over there and
will love
cook for them, you will break it
it.
in.
We cleaned that building up. So, some of that money is, or all of that money is basically intended to try to create an area that is more conducive to a higher level of training than what we can do without it. So, you know, some of the ideas that we have are to work with some other departments to see about doing a regional type training area. So maybe that, if it were $3,000,
Well,
maybe
doesn't-
that department can bring some money to it, and now,
Doesn't Herman and Carmel already have a training area?
nope. The closest training facility to here is Bangor's training facility off, Auburn Road, right, basically at the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
run.
I've heard of it.
That's the closest training facility to here.
I thought Herman had both, Herman and Carmel had them.
The only other place around here that has, and it's a smokehouse is Hamden. Hamden has a smokehouse down off
Fair.
Route 9.
That's right, but it is very small
Yeah.
and it's mostly a maze, so it's used for one specific type of training.
So back in the day, well, I can't say the day, a couple years ago.
Yep.
We talked about doing something at the sand shed
Yeah.
Mhm.
for this purpose.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Any, like, to put this money towards that, to do that?
So that would be the thought. We have approval from the select board to look into doing one of two things, which I haven't really dug into a whole lot because we had some other higher priorities. We put in for a grant this year that took up my time, so we have approval from the select board to look into the possibility of doing a training facility behind this building, out back here. Now,
This building?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if we didn't do that, then the salt shed would be,
Well, where the heck are you gonna put that in the utility shed out there?
no, we would clear and all that stuff, but it depends on cost.
You got another
I haven't done any
150
looking
yards.
into
Where
it.
you walked up
We're
there?
on this back side.
I have walked it.
Yeah, we walked it.
Can he take some poison ivy on you? Cause it's right loaded with them.
So,
Yes.
but if that area doesn't work out, which I'm assuming it's gonna not be cost,
No, not considering you wanna dig a pond and put a dry hydrant at the sand shed, and with your
Which we
water
wouldn't-
and all your,
which we wouldn't obviously do that pond if we were to remove that training facility, but again, as I've talked to a couple people, I don't think that that's gonna end up being what happens, I just haven't talked to them enough to know for sure. So it is most likely going to be the salt shed,
yeah, cause
which the
water,
advantage is already clear.
water and stuff here is not gonna be friendly.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that doesn't even, I don't even I don't know. I guess I'm trying to figure out why,
Closer to the station, more convenient, a little easier to maintain, were the biggest reasons.
So this is just seed money to get you started, is it?
Essentially, but
okay.
again, if it
That's what I
doesn't,
was gonna say.
but again, if it doesn't go here, then we, salt shed's the plan, that area that, out behind the salt shed, and we start working on getting that training facility to something that
Yeah, I don't know.
we can do a little bit wider
When
variety of
it's all
training.
cleared and it's ready to go.
It's flat.
Yeah, there you go. Not a mountain and water and, okay, anyway,
It's not a power line in the way.
yeah.
Just so I can understand, is it normal that a board would approve the wages increase before like the budget committee meets?
That's a good question. I guess that's a prerogative. We could certainly override them, but that wouldn't be good.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
curious, like, how that happened.
So are you referring to us talking to the select board?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
just wondering,
so-
we're here to meet for
Yeah.
like all of the budget items,
So-
but one of them have already been approved.
Nope. So what we did is, you wanna bring it forward to him?
I'd
so we
love
can-
to,
okay.
yeah, so-
This guy is a genius when it comes to showing you the numbers on this.
So, the payroll thing, the reason that we talked to the select board at the last selectmen's meeting about the pay scale is because it was a pay structure change. So it wasn't necessarily an approval of that budget, you guys could deny the budget and then we can't afford to do that pay scale change. That's how that works, but the town manager and the selectmen have to approve the scale, the pay, structure change in order for us to go to it. So for us, it was kind of a balancing act of, well, do we get it approved, that scale, that structure approved by the selectmen for then you guys to approve the money? Or do we approve the money and then approve the change in structure? Because you might have approved the structure and then you might have approved the money, and then they might not have approved the structure, and then it would have been, an over budget essentially, because this new pay structure does result in some pay increases as well.
It just feels like kind of different because, we're saying reduce over here to 8 from 12, but we already have it 12 over here, so it just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. I
It's never
guess.
been done before. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen that ahead of time for all
Yeah.
these years, so.
So, by my calculations, and my teacher said I'd never carry a calculator in my pocket. Between compensation, your turnout gear, and your training facility alone, you're increasing your budget by almost $31,000.
Yep.
So looking at our budget compared to last year, payroll would have been about a $10,000 increase as opposed to whatever the almost 19 or 20,000 it is now. On top of that, what we did when we worked on this to get it to Cindy, we were in January when we were working on this, so we took what we had spent through that 6 months, divided it out, divided it by the hourly wage, figured it out through the year. And we brought on a lot of members last year, we were a little bit busier, so that average probably won't be quite as high as it was this coming year, which is why the number is what it is. And then by my math, the new pay scale would account for about a $10,000 increase across the entire department, not for one person, across the entire department, it would account for about a $10,000
Yeah.
increase to go to this pay scale change.
And you said you did take the average, right?
Yes.
You didn't run with the month with the most calls
Nope.
and the most
No,
hours?
The average cost to payroll monthly from July to January is $78.90. And that was everybody, that was the chief down to the least active firefighter, who may not have even had an hour on payroll. So, but, in August, we had a lot of time, July and August, we had a lot of time moving into the fire season. So we didn't necessarily expect that those averages will maintain that high, but if you do that over that period of time, it worked out to about 87,000. If you then did the pay, or 91,000, then if you did the pay scale structure change on top of it, it was like 101. So, expecting to not be quite as busy, we asked for the 90.
What was your average increase for your firefighter?
The average would go from, it was 1620 to now the average would be 1804.
With the high being at 1995.
1995?
Yeah.
And that's for, I don't know if I'm gonna get this right. You're a lieutenant, right?
I'm a captain.
You're a captain?
Yep.
But that 1995 would be for a senior,
Yeah, so the 1995,
Right.
1995 hourly rate is me. So the pay scale is based on certifications. So
that's
try
what I
to-
was wondering. Right.
So sign off on truck certifications, I don't have a copy of that right with me, I can show you on my phone, but. So sign off on trucks, there's some base pays,
But-
sign off on trucks, certifications with an attempt to incentivize people to get more classes done.
Right,
Like
yes.
Because that benefits
Yes.
us and them.
Yeah, because, well, so, just like
Yes.
when everybody was here at the selectmen's meeting, I think that, I think you guys should get paid twice what you get paid, to tell you the truth, you know what I'm saying? You guys go and save people's lives, and it's not like you're doing it for, you're not on a 50-hour-a-week salary. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, so, I guess for that point, I guess the,
But again, you know my feeling on it.
Absolutely, but
My,
yeah,
I also know what townspeople's feelings are too, you know, they want you guys to be safe.
Yep.
And they wanna be saved.
Yep.
No ifs and buts about
I've
that.
had nothing but positive from everybody
Right.
that I have spoken to or that has spoken to me as far as the fire department reason.
But I'm also thinking of all the other older people that are retired, big taxes, you know,
Yep. I completely
Yeah.
understand.
Especially
you know, we take and cut, you know, as a budget committee, cause nothing's written in stone, we cut their wages. And then we see a $20,000 increase in you guys' wages,
Just doesn't feel.
you know, it doesn't feel right. Doesn't mean it's not right, like Ed said. We wish we could pay you guys buku dollars. But again, we're just a budget committee, so, I agree with the training facility, if it's something you guys wanna get going, it's gonna make you a better fireman. I believe you definitely need turnout gear. It's too bad you have to use your vehicle maintenance to buy turnout gear.
You know,
That-
we've
that's
pulled it from a few funds.
But yeah, I mean, but I also believe you might have to go back to the old school where you need to start doing fundraisers. You know, to look for money to do it. And I know people will say, well, it's for the town. Well, you know, you've done fundraisers all,
it is, but it isn't,
you know,
right?
look what Linda used to do, look what
There's a difference now with our,
I
the way that we.
totally understand that.
And that's been an ongoing issue, so that's something that's
Right.
not as easy as it sounds to do.
I know when we ran the rec department, we had little stickers, you know, little league stickers or rec department, made $1,000 in a day, just passing those out.
What, so why? Why?
Because we are no longer a volunteer department.
Right.
And therefore, we no longer have an association who is the secondary line of the volunteer department, which is the one that can raise the money, can do fundraisers, can do all of that stuff.
Right.
We're now a municipal department, so that has been,
But
that's been a headbutt.
make it
since-
easier for you, if they raise money, it goes in the surplus, doesn't go in the fire
Correct, we
department.
don't see it,
Even when you fill the booth,
that is,
That's
Cool.
that's
something different.
So how does
that's
that
what I
work?
see the distribution association.
that's for MDA, completely separate.
Okay.
They do that completely for them.
I'm glad that you said that.
Isn't that for the muscular?
Muscular MBA, yeah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah. So that goes.
That, I would have to obviously call in to see what our numbers were, but the last time we did the yard sale, there was more man hours put into it than money put
Oh,
in.
most definitely, yeah, no, I totally understand that, Neil.
You know, outside of some really big events that the Bangor Fire Department does, fundraising is an extremely hard, you know, I bet with real good fundraising efforts, I bet in this town we could pull in $1,000
Yeah.
with real good fundraising,
Yeah, right.
you know.
And they could, with an article, use that money,
Right.
allow them to raise it.
You would,
and
right,
use
you would
it.
have to pass it through an article at the town hall, town meeting. Okay,
Oh,
well, I don't wanna beat this with a dead horse, you guys wanna go home, we wanna go home.
Is this part of 7, too?
Excuse me,
Is
Bobby?
this part of 7?
It ends on
Six,
Saturday.
yeah,
Okay.
6 and 7.
I just wanna make sure that I wasn't skipping ahead
No,
of you.
I'll keep you in mind, don't worry.
Increase due, under the vehicle maintenance, increase due to no longer having the warranty on the 498. What does that mean?
So 498 is the rescue truck
Okay,
under the rescue division.
yeah,
That truck no longer has its factory warranty. So at this point, we don't have warranty to fall back on for it to get fixed for anything for say, shocks or front, I mean, yours doesn't work, so, I mean, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So we had to come up with a fair number to get something on the books that we could fall back on to do general repairs on 98 with.
You haven't got the call about the car warranty for your?
Which one? Ox or,
Alright,
How old is that?
that's a 2018.
you guys happy with that, deal? Okay, enough said.
Yeah.
So, you guys all done through that? You're looking at a $38,638 increase from $148,104 to $186,742. And then Cindy, you've got numbers of 175. What
That's
is
cause I didn't put in anything on
on the turnout gear and the training?
turnout
Yeah.
or any other thing.
Okay. You guys approving this?
Yes.
I'll say aye.
Okay.
Have a nice evening, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll go back to, page 3, Jessica.
So I think Cindy mentioned that she moved $2,000 to where? For the FD main?
What page were you on?
3.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yes, so the bottom line hasn't changed. I just moved $2,000 from the fire department up to the municipal office.
Okay.
We shouldn't need too many repairs down there, God help us.
I hope not.
Now, what
And
about
we
this
do
building?
need some here.
What does this building need?
We just had the extract tanks collapsed.
And what now?
The extract tanks that go in the pump,
Fresh name.
you know, the little pressure tank you have
Oh,
in the
yeah,
pump?
yeah.
Well, we have 2 of them that are 100 gallons.
Yeah.
And one completely failed and the other one started failing. And we just had to have those replaced. Thank God the school paid half of it. It was over $7,000 to do so.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue with this building is the plumbing.
Always has been
The pipes are old and stuff.
cast iron.
I'm hoping that when the school does leave, I can go in, the board will allow me to go in and take all those little sinks out and those sort of things, that the pipes are all corroding and that they're not gonna be needed, hopefully. We did just have all the toilets replaced through a grant the school got. What else? It's
How's the
mainly plumbing, of course we have to maintain the roof. And the roof down the road
And
was,
they got the I didn't even notice, they got the letters off the front of the building.
not all of them, no. Says Uberg,
Says what?
Uberg.
Oh, we're getting Ubers here?
Why didn't they just leave?
Well, we thought it would be easier to take them off, actually, Kurt's gonna try this as soon as it warms up, he has a heat gun,
Okay.
that he thinks we'll take them off.
You guys good with 13,000 on the page 3?
Yeah.
Don't see what the rest of the summer, he's gonna dig them all over.
That might be okay.
I was gonna say, who's getting the best deal out of this?
We'll keep that in
Can
here.
I just go back to page 2 real quick on fuel? I just noticed it hadn't changed. And,
Cause we started last year budgeting to do the whole year,
yeah, without the school paying
without
that.
the school, because we thought we would get it
Mhm.
and then have to bill
Okay.
them and get reimbursed, but just so happens they had us locked in for this year. I did just, put a note to bid starting July 1. To
Okay.
get locked into a price.
Yep.
And the prices come back really good.
Well, the prices are gonna go down once Trump gets voted in.
It's a given.
1% inflation. Okay,
My wife's.
I was expecting it to be doubled.
So we started
So,
last
yeah,
year.
well, that's a welcome sight, so,
we had a really good review.
yeah.
Alright, so on page 4. That's all insurance, right?
Oh, boy.
So
Yeah.
You really ain't touching that. guys all good?
Mhm.
How much money's in the building reserve fund? I knew you were gonna ask that.
What's,
Did you submit this?
There is $18,398.
18.
We spent, $4,390 and replaced all the lights in the gym.
Okay. I noticed it was brighter in there.
It is. People
So
were
much
complaining.
And they all come on at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to.
No. You guys good with page 5? We did 6 and 7. IT support, that's a new one.
Well, it's not new, it's just we haven't done it for a few years because, we had an agreement with the school. We paid for the internet. They let us use their IT guy.
Yeah,
And, with the school leaving, Nate has agreed to continue with us, thank God. Cause we actually had him before he went to work for the school. He's been here for a long time, installed all this stuff for us and stuff, but, for $2,200. And that's basically what he was making when he got done 4 or 5 years ago.
you guys good with that?
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
good, right,
Alright,
somebody's gonna do it.
it's not 7 o'clock, do you guys wanna call it a night and we'll come back another
Yeah,
time to do the
7
roads?
Yeah.
You guys all good for that?
Yeah.
Say hey, bye.
Aye.
Alright,
Aye.
Captain.
When do you wanna do another meeting?